So I guess that brings us to the person who was shot, the lady who was shot. What was your tweet about? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly what you said. Didn't you tweet something specifically about her?
I did, but I don't remember what it was because people were wanting me to adopt the point of view that she's like a patriot. I was like, dude, she fucking, as soon as you breaking and entering your patriot status. Well, I got to be careful here because, like I said, there are these facts in the world that, you know, if one set of facts is true, then breaking and entering, all of a sudden you do become a patriot. But I don't think the level of, I don't think those facts have been achieved. You know, this is why we have courts beyond the shadow of a doubt. So I don't think any of these people should have been doing these kinds of things in the same way that I don't think burning down a city because Jacob Blake was resisting arrest is a good thing to do. So, but I mean, I don't think, I think shooting her was the right thing to do.
Well, the way that I look at it is, imagine if there was some Black Lives Matter protest that broke into the White House, and the people are trying to get in, or an Antifa protest more specifically, broke into the White House, and there's like a locker door, and on the other side of that door is a hallway, and that hallway opens to a room that Donald Trump is in. Do you think the Secret Service is going to shoot the Antifa protesters as they enter the hallway?
100%.
100%.
Yes.
Of course.
Do we know? Because I don't know. There was some talk of he was defending Pence and his family. Is that the case?
So I don't know if we know that specifically, if Pence was there. What I saw was that the hallway led directly in, like the room where the guy is like his gun is sticking out of. That's the room to the main House chambers where everyone was.
Yes.
And presumably still were people in there that they were protecting. So
they had like stuff in front of the door. They had the door like barricaded with furniture and shit.
Yes.
She literally had to jump up over the furniture to get in. Like, and I don't, what are these people thinking? Like, they're not taking this, their lives seriously in any way, shape, or form. This is I guess. Is this whataboutism? I mean, it seems it seems like the same exact thing, because when people resist arrest, they're not taking their lives seriously. All bets are off. I'm like, fucking shoot.
It's funny. Somebody, like right after she was shot, somebody was saying her name was Roberta Paulson, which is the reference from Fight Club. His name was Robert Paulson, where when the guy in Fight Club is shot.
It's a fucking joke then.
He says, but no, I know that wasn't actually her name. But
but I mean, they're making a joke of it. These people are fucking insane.
They are making a joke of it, but it's actually a pertinent point, because the point of that scene in Fight Club is when the guy is shot, Edward Norton's character says, "You're running around in ski masks, destroying buildings. Of course you're going to get shot." Like, it's so fucking obvious. Like, why are you acting surprised that this happened?
Yeah.
And it's like what you're saying. You have a riot of people, a mob of people have broken into the Capitol building. People in the crowd, I don't think this woman was, and I don't even know if the crowd that she was in was specifically saying this, but people in the building, in crowds, were saying things like, "Hang Mike Pence." Okay. So a crowd of people has broken into the Capitol building. Then so obviously if you get near the politicians or Mike Pence or his family, they're going to fucking shoot you, and they should fucking shoot you.
Yeah. This is the same. Oh, go ahead.
I don't have any sympathy. Well, I have sympathy, but I don't have any problem with anyone participating in a riot being shot and killed, because you shouldn't be fucking rioting. Fuck you. What is wrong with you? Don't fucking riot. It's so simple. Don't riot. And the thing, and if you watch the video too, it's like you see, well, first of all, it's weird because you see that there's like 3 cops and they're standing in front of a barricaded door that has these big glass panes. And you can see on the other side of the door, as you said, there's literally furniture barricading against the door. And there's this weird thing where there's like 30 seconds where the police officers see someone else in the distance that you can't see, and they like motion to them, or they're like communicating through their walkie-talkies, and the 3 police officers walk away from the door for like 30 seconds.
Yes, and that's when they start breaking it down.
The second they walk away, that's when the people start breaking it down. And it's like, and that's when they break down the window. Oh, and while they're breaking it down, you can see, and the cameraman does see, a hand with a gun appearing from a doorway pointed at the point of entry. Yeah. And he's saying, he's yelling, there's a gun, they got a gun, they got a gun. So it's not like this woman didn't know what was going on. It's not like she was.
Well, I don't think she knew what was going on. I don't think she actually heard that he.
Maybe she. I don't know. It's pretty loud, but the guy was standing very close to her, who was screaming. He has a gun.
The thing that bothers me is like this is exactly. You have the conservatives using BLM Antifa logic right here. Like just because the guy's resisting arrest, just because he has a knife in his hand, you know, just because he stabbed the officer 3 times already, he shouldn't shoot. Don't you know? The rules are different for police. They can't do that kind of stuff. It's like, fuck you. As soon as you resist arrest, you're getting shot. Resist arrest, get shot.
Exactly.
Riot, get shot. Like it's easy. It's super easy to be consistent here. I don't understand what the problem is. The problem is the partisanship, because people are so deluded that they can't see anything. They put these partisan goggles on and they can't see anything clearly whatsoever. Like all of a sudden the partisan goggles come on and it's like, this lady was a patriot. The election was stolen. She was an innocent girl.
Yeah. She didn't do anything, right? She was just
same thing with the partisan goggles for Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake was just a stunning American citizen who'd like assaulted his girlfriend and was like trying to kidnap the kids.
Adam, he was shot in front of his children just entering his vehicle.
Sitch, in the back. In the back.
In the back. He was shot in the back 6 times. Oh, my God. Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines. Oh, my God.
No, yeah, exactly. But, so bad.
But the weird thing with this incident, and they're probably the police, I hope we get to the bottom of why those 3 police left their post temporarily. Because as soon as like they leave, they break the windows, the woman goes through and gets shot like instantly.
Yeah.
And then like a bunch of armed police just show up through like another, like there's like a stairwell behind everyone.
Up the stairwell. Yes,
yeah, there's a stairwell.
So that's probably what happened. They were like, the armed guys are coming in. You guys don't have any weapons, because I don't know if they had firearms.
No, they didn't. And I'm assuming that's what happened. I'm assuming that they saw the armed people coming and they were trying
the guys that ran up the stairs had assault weapons. They had real military hardware.
They had real weapons. And I'm assuming what happened was the police guarding that entranceway either were radioed or saw that the people with guns were coming and thought that they were going to like switch posts with them. The problem is if they had literally, this is what's kind of disturbing. If they had waited 30 seconds for the officers to physically be there to immediately physically change places with them, then that woman wouldn't have been shot.
Yeah.
But there was that little bit of lag time in between. But anyway.
The takeaway that I had though, just since we're on the shooting, is like that's when things like escalate or de-escalate, and it's super gratifying that things de-escalated as quickly as it did after the shooting, and multiple people weren't injured or hurt, or things weren't taken up to another level, which I'm super thankful for that. But one down, and that kind of took the fight out of them immediately, which I think is the good thing that came out of it, even though it's a horrible thing that.
Right. Well, I mean, most of this is LARPing. Like most of those people are just fucking LARPers. I don't think the people in the riot had any. I don't think most of them. I'm sure there was a couple of them, but I don't think most of them had any intention to kill anyone or take any hostages or whatever. I think they were literally just LARPers running around like, I'm in the Capitol. Oh, this is crazy.
We talked a little bit about this off.
And wait, but even that woman, she probably didn't have some crazy nefarious intention.
No.
However, obviously the people guarding the representatives, they can't read your mind. They don't know what the fuck your intention is.
We talked a little bit about this before the stream. Like, I was taken back by how completely disorganized and just out of touch this whole operation was. And
Right.
now the media is going to cast these people as our right-wing militias that are organizing in the streets to take
Right.
over America. And people are actually going to believe that narrative.
Right.
When
Right.
you and I, like, obviously, yes, these people were LARPing. These people were completely out of their depth. They weren't organized in any way, shape, or form. And we should talk a little bit about how, I guess this is under the massive security breach
Well,
stuff.
I do want to watch. I do want to talk about that in regards into like whether this was a coup attempt or whatever.
Yes.
But I just
Okay.
want to say one thing before we move off the shooting, which is that um, this is Tucker Carlson's take on this was so fucking disgusting
We
to
can
me.
watch that video if you want to pull it up.
Should we watch it? I mean, we might get a copyright strike from Fox News
Okay, yeah. So just
if we watch it. But because I'm so sick of Tucker Carlson because there's so many times where like someone puts a clip of him saying something and I go, oh, that sounds reasonable. And then I go and I check the source and I find out he just fucking lied about the source material. And he just phrases things just a little, and this is all intentional too, because he does it constantly. He phrases things just so perfectly to give you the wrong impression of the event. And so with the shooting, because I actually heard his take about the shooting before I saw the shooting. So when I heard his take, I had a completely different impression. The way he describes the shooting as if this woman is just standing in this mob of people in a hallway, and then a security guard blind fires into the mob, and she just gets hit and dies.
this is the exact same thing Don Lemon did with Kyle Rittenhouse. The
Exact,
exact
yes,
same
yes,
thing.
exact same thing. Yeah, and this is the impression that I got from watching Tucker Carlson describe the event. I said, "Wow," and I believed him. I said, "Wow, that's horrible." And then I go and I watch the video, and it's like fucking night and day. It's like this complete opposite would have happened. She's literally the first person crawling through a broken window to where a guy with a gun is pointed because that's where all the representatives are hiding, or their aides are hiding, or Mike Pence's family is hiding, and
Yeah.
gets shot. It's literally the exact fucking opposite. And then on top of that, Tucker Carlson, he describes, this is insane to me. He literally describes not the riot as political violence, but describes the security guards shooting the woman and protecting the building as political violence. So
Yeah,
I
what the
was like,
hell are they supposed to do?
I don't know.
I mean, they barricaded the
what?
door and put a bunch of furniture there. You think that would be like, please don't come in here.
I think when the police
She's
barricade the
crawling
door,
through
they're standing in front of the door.
broken glass.
There's a guy with a gun drawn behind the door. These are all symbols that should tell your mind, stay away.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
When you're
Don't
crawling
come
through broken
here.
glass, you know, when
Yes.
you're actually having to worry about the broken glass to get through.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
time to like re-examine what you're doing.
So and this was on Wednesday. So I don't know if Tucker Carlson has walked this back since then. But I saw that and I'm like, I'm fucking done with Tucker Carlson. He can fuck off. Like that was so disgusting. His take on this was so gross.
I'm going to try to stay consistent here because, oh man, it's tough though. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt because I think Tucker Carlson does some good work. So I want to, because this report came out on the January 6th, and I want to say like it was a fog of war type situation. But in reality, it's the same thing as a Don Lemon thing, because the Don Lemon thing was the fog of war situation,
Right.
and he shouldn't have said like Kyle Rittenhouse fired into a crowd. And I'm
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
like it's completely irresponsible for Don Lemon to do this. So in order to be consistent, I definitely have to say, even though I believe it was probably like a fog of war situation with Tucker Carlson, it's still completely irresponsible to start that phony narrative. And I literally think the phony narrative with Kyle Rittenhouse was started by Don Lemon. So I don't know how far this narrative is going to go with Tucker Carlson, but I can imagine it going just as far. I mean, you have people watching the Kyle Rittenhouse videos and denying, fucking reality. We have the same exact thing in this situation where you can see, obviously, she is an aggressive party here. I don't know, what are they supposed to do? I mean, they're adopting literal Antifa BLM talking points here. Like, shoot them in the leg. Like, you're the cops. You're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to defend. Like, what are they thinking?
You're not allowed to defend the literal Capitol building where people are voting on the issues of our presidency.
Yeah.